Life is a journey filled with unpredictable twists, challenges, and hardships. Many times we face obstacles that seem impossible to overcome, leaving us feeling vulnerable, broken, and lost. In these moments of struggle, it's natural to want to share our pain with others, hoping for comfort or solutions. But what if we changed our perspective? What if, instead of viewing our pain as a weakness, we saw it as a source of strength? The truth is, every difficulty, every setback, and every tear shed has the potential to shape us into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of ourselves. My name is MUNIBA MAZARI, and I am a motivational speaker. Please subscribe my channel and like this video. Start a new journey with me. The challenges we encounter in life are not meant to break us, but to build us. Each struggle carries a lesson, an opportunity to grow beyond what we thought was possible. When we stop seeing our problems as burdens and start recognizing them as stepping stones, we unlock a strength we never knew we had. The greatest leaders, innovators, and change makers in the world have all faced adversity. They did not rise to success because life was easy for them. Instead, they embraced their struggles, learned from them, and used them to fuel their journey forward. Pain has a way of transforming us. It forces us to dig deep within ourselves, to confront our fears, and to push past limitations. When we experience hardships, we are given two choices. We can allow them to defeat us, or we can use them as motivation to rise above. The strongest people are not those who have never faced difficulties, but those who have endured them and come out stronger. Pain teaches us patience, perseverance, and resilience. It shows us what we are truly capable of when we refuse to give up. Think about a diamond. It starts as a simple piece of carbon, unremarkable and unnoticed, but when placed under intense heat and pressure, it transforms into something rare, valuable, and unbreakable. Our struggles are the pressure that molds us into the best version of ourselves. Without challenges, we remain stagnant. It is through hardship that we discover our inner strength, the fire within us that refuses to be extinguished. Often we believe that sharing our problems will make them easier to bear. While it is important to have a support system, constantly seeking validation from others can make us dependent on external comfort. True strength is not found in how many people sympathize with us, but in how we rise despite our circumstances. People can listen, they can offer words of encouragement, but at the end of the day, it is up to us to fight our battles and emerge victorious. History is filled with stories of individuals who turned their pain into purpose. Helen Keller, who lost her sight and hearing at a young age, could have given up on life. Instead, she became an inspiration to millions, proving that no disability can limit the human spirit. Nick Vujicic, born without arms and legs, did not let his condition define him. He transformed his struggles into a message of hope, teaching others that limitations exist only in the mind. Their stories remind us that our challenges do not define us. How we respond to them does. We often ask, why me, when faced with difficulties? But the real question should be, what is this teaching me? Every hardship carries a lesson. Sometimes pain teaches us patience. Sometimes it teaches us the value of gratitude. No experience in life is wasted if we choose to learn from it. The people who grow the most in life are not those who have had an easy journey, but those who have faced hardships and used them to become better, wiser, and stronger. Pain also brings perspective. When we experience loss, we learn to appreciate what we have. When we struggle, we develop empathy for others who are facing similar battles. Hardships have a way of opening our eyes to the beauty of life, helping us understand that even in our darkest moments, there is still hope. There will be times when life feels unfair, when everything seems to be going wrong, and when giving up appears to be the only option. In those moments, remind yourself that you are stronger than you think. Every great success story begins with a struggle. Every champion has faced defeat. Every masterpiece was once just a blank canvas. Your struggles are not signs of weakness. They are the evidence of your strength. Instead of running from pain, embrace it. Instead of seeking sympathy, seek growth. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim, recognize that you are a warrior. The journey will not always be easy, but the strength you gain along the way will make every battle worth it. Life has a way of testing us, sometimes in ways we never expected. Pain, heartbreak, disappointment. These are all experiences that every person will encounter at some point. When difficulties arise, our first instinct is often to reach out to others to share our struggles in hopes of finding comfort or understanding. While there is nothing wrong with seeking support, it is crucial to understand that no one can truly heal us except ourselves. People may sympathize with our pain, but the responsibility of overcoming it rests entirely on our shoulders. When we go through hardship, we long for someone to listen, to tell us that everything will be okay, and to assure us that we are not alone. This is a natural human desire. We want to be understood. However, there is a significant difference between seeking comfort and depending on others to fix our problem. No matter how much someone loves or cares for us, they cannot take away our pain. They can offer words of encouragement, but they cannot walk our journey for us. Healing is a deeply personal process, one that requires us to look within rather than seeking external solutions. Many times we place our happiness in the hands of others. We think that if someone listens to our problems, if they validate our pain, we will feel better. But the truth is, external validation is temporary. The real, lasting healing comes from within. No one else can truly understand what we are going through in the same way we do. Every person has their own struggles, their own battles to fight, and while they may offer advice or a shoulder to lean on, the ultimate responsibility for healing lies with us. Relying too much on others for emotional support can create dependency. When we continuously look for someone to comfort us, we give away our power. We start believing that we cannot cope with our problems alone, which weakens our ability to handle adversity. But the reality is, we are far stronger than we think. The human spirit is resilient, capable of enduring immense pain and still finding the strength to move forward. The moment we realize that we hold the power to heal ourselves, we unlock a new level of inner strength. One of the hardest lessons in life is understanding that not everyone will be there for us in the way we expect. We may think that friends and family will always offer the support we need, but sometimes they're too preoccupied with their own struggles. This can feel like a betrayal, but it is not. It is simply a reminder that every person is dealing with their own challenges. Expecting others to always be there for us in the way we want can lead to disappointment. Instead, we must learn to be there for ourselves. Pain is a teacher, and healing is a journey that we must embark on alone. No one else can feel what we feel, and no one else can do the inner work required to move forward. This does not mean we should isolate ourselves or never talk about our problems, but rather that we should recognize the difference between seeking temporary comfort and finding true healing. Talking to someone may provide momentary relief, but if we do not address the root of our pain ourselves, it will continue to resurface. There are moments in life when we will feel completely alone. In these moments, we must learn to be our own source of comfort. We must develop the ability to sit with our pain, to understand it, and to slowly work through it. This is not easy. It requires immense strength and patience. But the reward is freedom. When we realize that we do not need external validation to heal, we become unshakable. We no longer rely on the opinions or support of others to feel whole. People may come and go, but the relationship we have with ourselves is the one that lasts a lifetime. This is why it is so important to cultivate self-love, self-awareness, and self-compassion. Instead of looking to others for reassurance, we must learn to reassure ourselves. Instead of seeking comfort from the outside world, we must learn to find peace within. The moment we stop expecting others to heal us and take full responsibility for our emotional well-being, we step into our true power. This does not mean that we should never talk about our problems or seek help when we need it. There is strength in vulnerability, and sometimes speaking to someone can provide clarity. However, we must recognize that while people can listen, only we can truly heal ourselves. It is our mindset, our perspective, and our willingness to grow that determine our ability to overcome adversity. The most powerful transformation happens when we stop waiting for others to rescue us and instead become our own hero. Life presents us with countless challenges, obstacles, and struggles. Every person faces difficulties in one form or another. But what sets individuals apart is how they respond to those struggles. Some people dwell on their hardships, letting their problems define them, while others choose to rise above, transforming their pain into power. The truth is, talking about our struggles repeatedly does not change our circumstance. Complaining about problems does not solve them. What truly matters is action. What we do despite our struggles, how we rise after falling, and how we prove through our achievements that our hardships do not define us. Every person has a story, and within every story there are moments of hardship. But the most inspiring individuals are not the ones who spend their time explaining how difficult life has been for them. They are the ones who use their experiences as fuel to push forward. They channel their pain into purpose, their disappointments into determination, and their struggles into success. The greatest victories in life are not achieved by those who merely speak about their challenges, but by those who take action and overcome them. Imagine a person who constantly talks about their problems. They tell everyone how difficult their life is, how unfairly they have been treated, and how they wish things were different. While sharing experiences can sometimes be therapeutic, excessive focus on hardships can trap a person in a cycle of negativity. When we repeatedly discuss our struggles without taking steps to change our situation, we reinforce the idea that we are victims of our circumstances. However, those who choose to act rather than complain create a different narrative for themselves, one of strength, resilience, and transformation. History is filled with examples of individuals who refuse to let their struggles define them. Consider Oprah Winfrey, who was born into poverty and faced unimaginable hardships growing up. She could have spent her life talking about her difficulties, seeking sympathy from the world, but instead she took action. She worked tirelessly to build her career, using her past not as an excuse but as motivation to create a better future. Today, she is one of the most influential figures in the world, not because she told the world about her struggles, but because she overcame them and proved her strength through her success. Nelson Mandela is another example. He endured years of imprisonment, injustice, and hardship, but he did not spend his life talking about how unfairly he was treated. Instead, he chose to take action. His perseverance and commitment to justice changed the course of history. He let his actions speak louder than his pain, and in doing so, he became a symbol of resilience and hope. When we focus too much on talking about our problems, we give them power over us. We allow them to control our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions. But when we shift our focus to solutions, we take that power back. Instead of complaining about what is wrong, we start working toward making things right. Instead of seeking sympathy, we seek progress. Instead of being defined by our struggles, we redefine ourselves through our actions. There is strength in silence and power in perseverance. When people see someone who has faced immense challenges yet continues to move forward with determination, they respect that person far more than someone who merely talks about their problems. Actions have an impact, whereas words without action are forgotten. If we truly want to inspire others, if we truly want to rise above our struggles, we must let our achievements be the proof of our resilience. Imagine two people who have gone through similar hardships. One constantly talks about their pain, expecting the world to understand their suffering. The other quietly works toward their goals, proving through their success that their struggles did not break them. The second person will always be the one who earns more respect, admiration, and success. Why? Because actions are powerful. They tell a story of resilience, of courage, of strength. They show the world that no matter what hardships we face, we have the power to overcome them. Pain and adversity can either break a person or build them. The choice lies within each of us. We can choose to stay stuck in our struggles, seeking validation and sympathy, or we can choose to move forward, letting our achievements speak for themselves. People remember those who rise despite their circumstances, who prove through their actions that they are stronger than their struggles. There is nothing wrong with acknowledging pain, and there is nothing wrong with seeking support. However, the real transformation happens when we stop focusing on the problem and start focusing on the solution. When we stop telling people how hard our life has been and start showing them what we have accomplished despite our struggles, we become an inspiration, not just to others, but to ourselves. Life is unpredictable. One moment, everything seems to be going well, and the next, we are faced with unexpected challenges. There will always be things beyond our control. Difficulties, disappointments, and struggles that shake us to our core. Many people believe that happiness is something that happens to them, that it is a result of perfect circumstances. They think that once they achieve a certain goal, earn a specific amount of money, or have the right people in their lives, they will finally be happy. But the truth is, happiness is not a destination. It is a choice we make every single day, regardless of what life throws at us. People often wait for happiness, thinking that once their problems disappear, they will finally feel content. They believe that happiness is tied to external factors. A better job, a bigger house, a perfect relationship. But life does not work that way. No matter how much success we achieve, there will always be new challenges to face. If we keep postponing our happiness, waiting for everything to be perfect, we will never truly experience it. Happiness is not found in the absence of problems. It is found in our ability to appreciate life despite them. When we shift our perspective and understand that happiness is a choice, we take back control over our lives. We stop allowing circumstances to dictate our emotions. We stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating joy in the present. No matter how difficult life gets, there is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude is a powerful tool. It transforms our mindset, helping us focus on what we have instead of what we lack. When we choose to be grateful, we train our minds to see the good in every situation. Many people assume that happiness is about having everything they want. They think that once they acquire more wealth, recognition, or success, they will finally feel fulfilled. But happiness does not come from having more. It comes from appreciating what we already have. There are people with very little who radiate happiness, and there are people with everything who feel empty inside. This is because happiness is an internal state of mind, not an external achievement. It is about how we choose to see the world and how we respond to life's challenges. One of the biggest barriers to happiness is comparison. In today's world, social media makes it easy to look at others and feel like we are not enough. We see people with seemingly perfect lives, traveling to exotic destinations, achieving great success, and looking effortlessly happy. This creates an illusion that happiness is something external, something that only comes when life looks perfect. But what we fail to see is that everyone has their struggles. No one's life is as perfect as it appears. The more we compare ourselves to others, the more we rob ourselves of the ability to appreciate our own journey. True happiness comes when we stop comparing and start embracing our own unique path. Choosing happiness does not mean ignoring pain or pretending that life is always easy. It does not mean suppressing negative emotions or forcing ourselves to smile when we feel broken inside. Instead, it means accepting that pain is a part of life, but refusing to let it define us. It means acknowledging our struggles while still finding reasons to smile. It means facing hardships with a mindset that says, I may be going through a difficult time, but I will not let this steal my joy. Happiness is also found in simple moments. It is in the warmth of the sun on our skin, in the laughter of a loved one, in the beauty of a sunset, in the kindness of a stranger. We often overlook these small moments, searching for something grander, but true happiness is made up of these little things. When we learn to slow down and appreciate life's simple joys, we realize that happiness was never far away. It was always within our reach. Another key to happiness is learning to let go. Many people hold on to past mistakes, regrets, or the pain caused by others. They carry this burden with them, allowing it to weigh them down and steal their joy. But holding on to pain only prolongs suffering. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means choosing peace over resentment, choosing to move forward instead of being stuck in the past. Forgiveness, both for ourselves and for others, is one of the most powerful ways to free ourselves from negativity and embrace happiness. Mindset plays a huge role in happiness. A person with a positive mindset can find hope even in the darkest times, while a person with a negative mindset will find problems even in the best situations. Our thoughts shape our reality. If we constantly tell ourselves that life is unfair, that we are unlucky, or that happiness is out of reach, we will never truly be happy. But if we train our minds to see opportunities and challenges, to focus on solutions instead of problems, and to believe that happiness is within our control, our entire experience of life changes. Happiness is also deeply connected to purpose. When we live a life aligned with our values, when we do things that bring meaning and fulfillment, happiness follows naturally. People who dedicate their lives to helping others, to pursuing their passions, or to making a positive impact in the world often find deep, lasting happiness, not because their lives are free of problems, but because they are living with purpose. When we shift our focus from what can I get to what can I give, we experience a kind of happiness that material possessions can never provide. The beauty of happiness is that it is always available to us, no matter our circumstances. We do not have to wait for the perfect moment or the perfect life. We can choose to be happy today, right now, exactly as we are. It starts with gratitude, with perspective, with letting go of negativity, and with embracing the present. It starts with realizing that we have the power to create our own happiness, regardless of what life brings our way. Happiness is not something we find, it is something we create. It is not given to us by perfect circumstances, but chosen in the midst of imperfection. Life will always have challenges, but we have the power to rise above them. When we stop waiting for happiness and start embracing the present, we realize that joy was always within us. Let your actions, your resilience, and your gratitude shape your happiness. Choose to be happy, not because life is easy, but because you are stronger than your struggles. In the end, happiness is not a destination, it is a way of living.